Hello, in this video I'll be doing the solution to lab 5, module 5 challenge lab. Let's start it. So you know what to do, you start the lab, then you click on the AWS and it opens another tab for you, and here is my other tab. Alright, so I'll be switching between the different views to get the instruction and implement it. So going back here. So this is the architecture that is currently in place. This is what's currently we are starting with, and this is what our architecture should look like. So we are starting with an EC2 instance. We have Cloud9 set up for us, the public subnet. We have our lab VPC, and that's pretty much it. Then in the final setup, we should have all of these things. So let's go through all of the steps, start the lab, and then the first task is to analyze the existing EC2 instance. So first we go to the management console and we go to EC2 instance and we look at the EC2 instance that's already been set up for us, which is the AWS Cloud9 Cafe Web Server. So let's go there and see. So you can just search here. I already have done that, that's why I have them as a separate view. But if you haven't, just type in EC2. I have EC2 open there. And you see a list of some services here. So instances, you see that you have one run instance. When you click on instance ID, you get to view the properties of this instance, like its instance ID, the public IPv4 address, private IPv4 address, and many other things. And when you come down here, you can see different tabs that you can just that puts it in different categories. The security about inbound rules and outbound rules. They are there under security. If it's about networking, you go to networking here. You can see the IP addresses, availability zone, elastic IP, and others. So let's see what they asked us to do. So now we're answering some questions about it. So it says you go to AWS details and then you click on access multiple. I'm going to move this to my other window so that this window can be maximized. Alright, so that is the instance in the public subnet. Then when we look at this instance, it has the subnet ID shows that it's in the public subnet. So yes, the instance is in the public subnet. It says you can go back. And does the EC2 instance have an IPv4 public address assigned to it? We saw that before. Yes, it has a public IPv4 address assigned to it, so that's a yes. So it says what inbound TCP port numbers are open for this instance. So open ports for the instance. So if you see that under the security, let's see for inbound security rules, we see that the port 22 is open and the source is a specific IP address range. It's a specific set shadow block. So for 22 TCP of that is specific side R block. So it's 22 and not to the internet but to a specific IP address range. And does the EC2 instance have an AWS identity and does it have a role assigned to it? Let's check. The IAM role is empty, so it doesn't have a role attached to it. So no, it doesn't. So I think that's the That's the four questions we should answer for task one now. Task two says connecting to the IDE. Task two, we get to connect to the IDE. So now on the browser, we go to details again, then Cloud9, we pick the URL for the Cloud9 IDE. Here's the URL for Cloud9. So we copy that and we go to other window. We use the link here. So we have Cloud9 IDE opening up here. Alright, so let's close this. So Cloud9 is open to us. Then we should analyze the LAMP stack environment so we can use this to see that on Cloud9. So here's the shell and it's here. See, so it shows us Linux version that mockup view. It shows us the version, Red Hat, and everything we need to know about that. Then we can run for to observe the web server, the PHP details, and the server state. We can run this command. It's best to run them individually so you see the results. So it shows the server version Apache. It's an Apache server 2.4. That's the version. That's what it's built. You can go back. Put it there. So let's maximize the ID so that we get to see everything clearer. So it's HTTPD service, the Apache HTTP server is loaded. That's where it's loaded. It's disabled and present. Preset is disabled. It's inactive and all of that. So exit out of this with a Q. It will exit and give you back your prompt. Then check the PHP version. So here's the PHP version and everything. So next is that we start the web server because like we saw when we used DDs, we saw that it was disabled, it was not active. So we'll get to activate it and start the web server with this, and then we would install the database server and then set them to start automatically when the instance will start. So let's run this. Okay, this. So we are checking to see that do we make sure that there's no error so that we get to discover okay. Okay, so this status. Now let's see the status. So we see now that it's now enabled and it's active and running. So now let's see the version of the database. There's a MariaDB version 15.1 distribution and let's enable the MariaDB to start on automatically when the instance is restarted. That's what enabling will do for you. Okay, then Okay, the final one here. Let's see the status of the database now. Now we see that it's enabled and active and running. Now it's active and running. So what next? So to configure the EC2 instance so that you can use the Cloud9 editor to edit the web server files, we run this command. So let's run the command. Mm, Alright. So notice that the AWS Cloud9 browser currently does not display the Apache web server page. So what we will do then is to change the ownership of. So we change the ownership of the HTML subdirectory to that of to the EC2, which is the user we are currently logged in on the terminal. So now in the file browser, let's expand Cafe Web Server www and then we choose HTML. So let's minimize the shell there and see the file browser here. So expand the www and choose HTML. So that's what we have. Then so let's create a new file there and put this into the file. So here is new file. Says the file should be named index.html. That's so. So I should save the file as index.html. So I just name the file index.html and I'm going to put this into the file. So this is the file. I'm going to put that into it and it's not let's close this welcome. It's not yet saved. I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save it. Yes. So it's saved now. Alright. So then I'm going to make the website accessible from the internet so that you can get to visit it from the internet. So yeah, the tips. So let's see the tips. So we don't have inbound rule for HTTP, so we have to add that to the inbound rules. We only have port 22 open, but for the internet, for HTTP, it needs port 80 to be open because when we are trying to access it from the internet with port 80, port 443 for HTTPS, it will not have access until we open that one. So we go back to the C2 instance and open that first. We update the inbound group. So go to the security group. This is a security group. There are the inbound rules. Only SSH TCP 22 that is open to be edit and add another rule to it for the internet. So add a rule, but it or if we just put HTTP, it will select the port for you. You see port 80 is automatically selected. And so let's see if there's a specification. Since it's from the internet, we are going to just put 0.0.0 from anywhere that is from the internet, not a specific range from the internet. Then we save it. And then we get to access it by using HTTP this and replacing that with the public IP address. So let's do that. If we have this, no, let's copy the public IP address. Here is it. public IP address. Then the access is by going http colon slash slash then the public IP address. Public IP address. That's it. So here is it. This is the text we placed here on index.html hello from cafe's web server, and that's what this server is giving to us because that's what we have placed in there. So let's see what next for me to do. Alright, so the new business requirement is to install a dynamic website application on the EC2 instance. So how do we do that? We get to install the cafe application. So first we have to download and extract the application files. So first navigate to the environment directory, then we download this zip file, then we unzip it, then use this again to download this zip file, then use this to unzip it, then use this to download this zip file, and then zip it and direct it to this directory. This is going to direct it to this directory. Then navigate to this directory, then download this zip file, then download this file, then unzip that file we downloaded here and direct it to this directory, then change permissions for it there. So let's do that now. So let's go to IDE, maximize it. We are already in the environment directory, so I wouldn't need to use this. I'll start from here, downloading that, copy, paste it here. It has downloaded it. If you see ls, it's going to show you that it's there listed as part of the files there. And if you go to the file browser here, you see it here. The zip file is there. Now let's even see how everything goes by this. Let's maximize it this way and see what we are downloading in the directories there. So let's unzip it. It has been unzipped and all the files reviewed. You can see it here now. All the files reviewed, and this is now the folder right there. So ls here on the terminal, you to see it. See it now here. Alright. So then we go to this. It's downloaded. You can see it here. db.zip. db.zip is zip file. Then the next command should unzip it. Let's do that. So zip it. You can see it has been zipped. Here you have it. With all of the files inside of it. Alright, so the next we download this now. Downloaded. You can see it there. Cafe.zip. Cafe.zip. Then we'll zip and direct to that place. It has been downloaded on all these files. Right, you can see cafe.zip, cafe, you can see with all these files inside of it, files and directory, everything is zipped under HTML because that's where it was directed to, under HTML, not here, but under HTML. Alright, so we navigate to that directory. So now we are there in cafe directory, and then we download this there. Downloaded that there, and then we download this too. Download that too. Then we unzip, directed to there. Okay, let's see the next command. Then we change the permissions for that directory, and then we change the permissions for that directory. Nothing done. So now we notice the file browser shows the .zip files that you downloaded and also the ones you extracted. Okay, yeah, I've showed that these are the zip files downloaded and these are the resulting um, sorry, not this. These are the resulting files that were folders that were revealed from to download. So let's open this file path index.php inside of cafe html www. So www html cafe index.php index psr and index.php. So psr index.php. So it opens in the IDE there. So here we have it there. So next we notice that this file HTML code has HTML code in it, but it contains sections that makes reference to other elements. So here it is. So this is an HTML code, but it makes reference to other elements like 18 get parameters of PHP. This is get parameters of PHP here. It's making reference to it. Server info.php. Server info.php should be somewhere around there too. So it's making reference to other elements. Okay, this server info.php. So that's what that place explains. Now it says open the get parameters of PHP and also just examining things and what we have. So the get parameters of PHP, let's open. And it says noting that in on line 3 the AWS SDK was invoked. So this is the line that calls AWS into this code. This is the line that calls AWS. That's invoking into the code. So now we get back to environment setup. First, CD takes us home, then we go down here. So let's maximize our ID. First, we use CD to go home, and then we go to environment and setup. Then there's a script we run. There's a script we run that script there. So if that's run the script, so the script's going to run and create some things, some secrets there. So the application secret setup script completed. So that script has so the script that we run, they just they issued what AWS CLI commands and they actually created some secrets. So now let's go to the console and go to secret manager and check secrets. So back to the console, secrets. Let's just search for secrets. See secrets. I'm opening it in another tab. Now we are on secrets manager, secrets, and we see the 7 secrets that it created. Yeah, Can see one, two, can see the secrets it created. Cafe time zone, cafe currency, cafe DB URL, cafe name, user, password, server info. So those are the secrets that were created by running that script, and the script issued AWS commands, and so it has created those secrets, and we can see them in our management console there. So what next? Now it says we should go retrieve the DB password and see what it is. So DB password, secret value, retrieve secret value. This is the secret value that is stored in DB password. So let's see. Okay, it says we will use this value in a moment. So let's see. So now it says we should configure. The MySQL database to support the cafe application. So now we go to run this and run some other scripts. So let's go there. First we run this, go to the DB directory, and next we'll get to run this script first, and then run the script. Right. So it said let's observe the database tables that were created. So to connect the terminal based MySQL client to the database, we use this command. And when prompted for the password, we use that password that we saw in the secrets. So it's after password. Alright, secrets. Copy this password here. I have to run it here. The passwords will not be displayed, so just paste it and type enter. So you see the passwords are not displayed. Just paste it, ensure you copy it correctly and paste correctly, then enter. Then you see we are now connected with the MariaDB. My, so when okay, so this is what we see. That's true. So now we can run these commands to explore our database. Show databases. No, not here. Shows us the databases we have here. Use Cafe DB chooses the database we want to use. So now we see that the prompt has changed to Cafe DB instead of none. So we are now using Cafe DB. So show tables. So now we'll be able to see the tables that we have in the Cafe DB. Then select star, which is everything from products. We'll be able to see everything in the products table. Is everything on the product table. Exit command will get us out of that place and back to our EC2 terminal. EC2 there. So to update the time zone, we run this command and then we'll start it so that it will use the new time zone. So for here we are using the American New York time zone, and pick any time zone you want that is me, and then restart it so that it starts up using the new time zone we have changed it to. Right, so now it says we should test by going using this now. So just like we did before, now we have it slash /cafe. That's the new, yeah, it is. Okay, now we save. Yeah, this is our website now running. Okay, so something is not working correctly on the, yeah, the menu is not working currently, so we can't see the pages are empty. So we get to fix that next. So now we say we should resolve that issue. So in this step, we get to figure out why is that not working. So yeah, the tips. So there's nothing wrong with the code. So does the web application rely on any other services or sources in addition to the web server? Mm, yes, it does. It does depend on those secrets. It needs to retrieve those secrets to be able to access the database, and it needs permission to be able to do that. And there is a rule called cafe rule that has already been created for us. So we are going to assign that rule to our EC2 so that the EC2 gets the permission to retrieve those secrets from secrets manager. So let's go. So, okay. So we first discover that the EC2 has no role, but it needs a permission to get to access secrets manager. So we're going to give it that permission by assigning a role to it. So let's modify the role. Let's assign the cafe role to it. Update. Okay, now we see we see that IAM role is now cafe role. So that role has been assigned to it. And if we check the rule out, we will see that those are the permissions that EC2 instance needs. So let's see the permissions that are there. Yeah, see, it needs to be able to interact with secret manager. So get secret, create secret, describe secret, put secret, list secret, update secret. It requires all of those permissions. So that's why we are assigning that rule to the EC2 instance. Because without that, it was not able to retrieve these secret values. It tried knowing what all these values are, but it was not able to access it. So now that we are giving it that role, we can now refresh this page and see. We can see now it's visible now because it has permission to retrieve those secrets. After retrieving the secret, it accesses the database and sees that these things are right inside the database. There are no others at this time, so we can now see that. So let's see what's our next requirement there. So let's make an order. Let's order for some. Let's order one all of these and go submit our order. So we submitted order for this, and now we see it in the order history. See it in the order history, time and date when our order was made. So everything is functioning properly now. Everything is functioning properly now. Menu. So that's it. There. Now we said we should create another environment. So here we get to create another environment first by creating an AMI out of the current instance and then launching another EC2 instance from that AMI. So we start by assigning this host name to the EC2. back to our terminal. Yes, our terminal. Okay. And create. So generate a key, enter, just type enter twice, and that key has been generated. And now we export the key. Now in the management console, let's go create the image. There's our instance, templates, image, let's create image. So right here at this point, we get to answer still remaining questions. So when you create an AMI from an instance, will the instance be rebooted? So let's see from that page of creating an instance. So by default, we haven't changed anything. By default, the instance will be rebooted because the boot instance is selected by default. We didn't select this. It's selected by default, meaning by default it will reboot. But it's uh, it's clickable, meaning you can actually deselect it, meaning you have the choice to choose whether to reboot or not. So you have the option not to reboot, but by default it will reboot. So this is correct. By default it will reboot because it's automatically selected. It actually, but if you want to deselect it, you can decide not to reboot. So this is the answer here. Okay, so in what ways can you modify the root volume properties when you create an API? So let's see what ways you can modify. You can add a new volume. You can increase or decrease the volume. So you can change the volume. You can change the volume. You can add a new volume. You can enable delete on termination or disable it. So let's go pick our right answer. You cannot change the root volume details. That's not correct. You can change the root volume. You can edit. No. You can't change the root volume details. You can edit the size. You can't edit the size. Can you? You can edit the size, yes, but nothing else. You can edit other things. You can edit the size, delete on termination, but not the volume type. Yes, that's the most correct. You can edit the size and volume. You can't edit the volume size type, and you can't change the volume details. You can edit the size and you can do other things. So this is the correct one. You can edit the size, delete on termination, but not the volume. Let's see here. You can edit the size, enable or disable delete on termination. You can add other volumes. So that's correct answer there. Can you add more volumes to? Yes, you can add more volumes. So, all right, so we are done with all of these questions now. Okay. So let's create the new AMI. So on the let's give this is the name we are going to pick in. They are giving us for the image. Paste there. No description is given. So Alright, so none other things, everything is left as default, and we create that image. So while that is in creation, then we'll we'll get to create an AMI in another region from that other region. So let's see the tips. So you wouldn't find that AMI in another region, but you can copy it to that region so that you can use it there. So you can actually copy it, send it to the other region so that it can be used there. So let's do that. So if we change our region now, okay, let's go to AMIs. So this is the AMI we just created, and that AMI is in US East 1. So if we go down to US East 2, we will find that there are no AMIs here. We can't find that other AMI here. So you see it's region specific. So let's go back to our previous region, then copy it to select it, then let's copy it to uh, another region. Okay, let's leave it at that name, and let's put it. That's the region we want it to be. I leave everything as default. So let's see. Okay, it says for names and tags, choose additional. Okay. Mm, okay, am I going too fast? Let's see. So to create a new instance, no. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I was reading instruction for creating the new instance. So let me do the copying first. So we have to get everything is left at default, then copy the AMI. This is not fully created yet. Paste to copy AMI, not from image. Okay, I think something wrong with think it wasn't okay. It's available now. I think it should be. So copy AMI, copy to yes. Stream, copy now. Alright, it failed because it was still in creation. It was still creating it. So now it's fully created. So our AMI has been copied to the other region. So let's go to the other region. See, we find it here now. It's now there. So let's see how we get to create. So to create the new cafe instance from the AMI, so we move to the other region, then configure the following options. So let's create, let's see, launch instance from AMI. So it says additional in tags, name prod cafe server, name prod cafe server. So the type is still too small. This is micro. Go to small. it to stop. Okay, we need to plug the power source. Okay. Mm, mm, mm.